this video, we will build a simple microservices example using Django. The focus of this video will be on Django, so the front end of this app, which is in React, will be pre-built, and you can find the code in the description of this video. This tutorial will also be a video series where in each series you will learn something new about microservices. In this example, we will learn how to send internal HTTP requests from one microservice to another. So let's create the app now. So let's start by creating the front end. It is pre-built since the focus of this project is on the backend. So I'll copy the URL here and open the terminal and run git clone this project. Now that I clone the project, make sure to have npm installed, and we will go to the post microservices frontend, run npm install, and after it's installed, run npm start, and the frontend is built. So node modules are installed. Now run npm start, and this will create the project on port 3000. So we got this error. This happens because we haven't built the backend yet. So let's do it. Go to django-rest-framework.org, click tutorial, quick start, and here are the commands that you need to install Django and Django REST framework. So after you have installed these two packages, let's open the terminal. And here I will create two directories. So make a directory, posts, and I will make another directory, comments. Let's open both of these projects with my IDE. So I open the projects here with my IDE. I'm using PyCharm, and this is a posts microservice and this is a comments. Both are empty directories. So let's start with the posts. Let's create an app here. So Django admin start project app, and it will be in this directory. So Django admin start project app here, and this will create a manage.py file and an app directory with some files there. Let's create also an app. So Django admin start app, I'll call it core, and we will have another folder core here. So this is the structure of our Django app. Now let's go to settings.py, and here we need to add our REST framework as an installed app. We need to install also another package, which is Django course headers. So make sure to install also this, because the frontend won't get our data because of the course policy. So you may need to run pip install Django course headers. I already did it in my machine, so I can use it directly. So I can add here course headers, and the last one is core, which is this app that we created here. So the course headers needs also a middleware, which I will copy it from the documentation directly here. So we need to add course headers, and the course headers middleware, I need to copy it from here. So it should be here before the common middleware. And also we need to add in the end a constant course allow origins. So I need to copy this to true. This will allow any frontend to access the endpoints of this app. So we need let me explain it again. We need the course because our React frontend that is running here, if we don't add course, it won't work. So now that we added cores, it will work. Now what is left is we need to add the URLs. So in the core, I'll create a Python file URLs, and here in the app we need to add here include, and we need to add a path here which starts with API / we need to include here core URLs. So I added this. I'll copy also this code. I'll paste it to the URLs here. For the moment we won't add any URL patterns, so I'll keep it like this, and I will remove the tests file here. So I'll keep it like this because this app core and manage.py, I'll copy it now and I will add it to the comments microservice. So these are the same in this microservice as well. So we set up also the comments microservice. Now let's add what is different. So what is different? Let's go to settings again. We need to add the database. So first let's connect with our database. So I'll connect with MySQL database. You can connect with any database that you want, so it doesn't matter the database that I'm using right now. I'll put my credentials, and my database for the posts microservice will be posts_ms. So I'll test the connection. It is successful, and this is the empty database which I created right now. So to connect with this database, in the engine here, I will add MySQL as a database. Also, the name of the database is posts microservice. We need the user, root, and the password. Which is root in my case. So you should create your own database with your own credentials. I'll copy these values and I'll add them to the comments as well, but the database in this case, it will be different. It will be called comments microservice, and let's also connect with that microservice. So the same credentials, and this is comment ms. Test the connection, successful, and let's add it here. So we created two empty databases, we connected with them, and now let's add the tables that we need in those databases. So let's go to the core. So I'm in the post microservice here, models, and let's add the models for this microservice. So we need to add one model, post. We'll extend from models model. What fields will this post have? So it will have a title, models char field, max length 255, and a description, which is models text field in this case, and max length I'll put 1000 here. So this will be the post, and that's it. So for the moment, let's run Python manage.py make migrations, and Django will recognize this model here, and it will create a model for the posts. So we created a model, now we can migrate. So Python manage.py migrate, and we created a lot of tables, not only the posts table. So as we can see, we have a lot of tables here, but we don't need any of them. We need only this core post, which has fields that we want. So let's do the same for the comments. Let's go to the core models here. Let's add class comment. This will extend from models model, and this will have a post underscore ID, which is models integer field, and it will have a text, which is models text field max length to 1000. So this post ID will be this post ID, but we won't add a foreign key here since this is another app and another database, so there is no way to connect. So let's make the migrations here also. So Python manage.py, make migrations, and migrate. So we added also here the tables. If we open the database, we can see that we have this core comment table as well here. So we added the models. Now let's add the views. So this will have a view. I will add it here, post API view, and this will extend from API view. We need to import the API view from REST framework views, and this will have a get method here and a request. And what do we want to return here? We want to return all the posts, which is equal to post objects. So let's import the post from the models. So from models import the post all. So we will get all the posts here, and we need also a serializer to return the response. So let's create another Python file, serializers, and let's create the post serializer. This will import from serializers model serializer, and we need to import this serializer from REST framework serializers, and this will have a class meta inside. The model will be our post model, so we need to import it from models, import also the post, and we need the fields, which are all of them. So that's it. We added the post serializer with all the fields, and we will create the serializer here. Is equal to post serializer with the posts here. So let's import the post serializer, and we need another option here, which is many to true. So that is needed in order to distinguish between a single object and a lot of objects. In the end, we'll return a response. Let's import the response from REST framework response here, and this will return serializer.data, and that should be it. So this will return all the posts. We need to add this endpoint to the URLs as well. So let's add a path here, posts, and we need to import from views, import the posts API view, and this path will map to post API view as a view, and that should be it. So let's run this microservice. So let's run Python manage.py run server, and this will run our app on port 8000. Now if we go to our front end, refresh, we'll see this form. So we see 0 here because we don't have any posts yet. We see we have also an option here to create a post, so let's add that also. So in the same API view, we'll add the def post, And now we will create a post here. So we will use again the serializer, which is equal to post serializer, and this time we need to pass data is equal to request data. So we will send the title and the description, and the post serializer will know those fields and it will create a post for us. Now we will add serializer is valid. If it is not valid, we need to raise an exception. So we need to add raise exception to true here. And if it is valid, we will save. And in the end, we will return response serializer.data. And that should be it. So let's create a post 1 description 1. Save, and we created the post. So it was this easy. If we refresh, we can see that this post is still here. It means that is created, it is in our database, and it is retrieved. So the post part works successfully. Now let's go to the comments part. So when we write here a comment and we submit, we should create a new comment. So the same way as we did with the post microservice, let's create a view here, and I will create a comments API view here. Will extend from API view. Let's import it, and we will add a dev post here. We need also the serializer, so let's create a Python file serializers, and I will copy the serializer from this one since it is almost the same. So I'll paste it here. Let's import the serializers, and the model here is a comment, which we need to import the comment, and this is comment serializer. So this is our comment serializer, and the code here is almost the same as this one. So I'll copy this part and I will paste it here. We need just a comment serializer here, which we need to import it. We need the request, and we need to import the response here. So REST framework response. So that should be it for the comment as well. So we created this API view. Let's add it to the URLs. So the path is comments, and we need to import from the views, import comment API view. And this will be comments API view as a view. So now that we added this path, we can create a comment. So let's create a comment here. Number 1. So my bad here, I forgot to run the server for the comments, and as we can see, the endpoint is the same, but the port is 8001. So when we run the server here, it will be Python manage.py, so like this, run server, but now the port will be 8001. So now it will run on this port, and what I will do is I will refresh. Let's run comment 1 here, and it was created. So as we can see, React automatically added this comment, but when we refresh, we won't get that comment because there is no way to get the comment currently. So we have to get the comments from the post. And how do we do it? This is the first problem of this microservices architecture, because the post microservice will care about the posts and the comment microservice will care about the comments. So there are many ways to do it. I will show you the simplest way, which is adding an endpoint to get the comments here for a specific post. So I will create another class here. I'll call it post comment API view. As an API view, this will be a GET request, and this will have a request which we won't use. I will put an underscore there, and the primary key which is none. And let's pass for the moment. So we added this API view. Let's add it to the URLs to get the idea how it will look like. So this will be a path to posts. We will add the primary string as a primary key here, /comments, and this will point to, let's add it here, post comment API view, post comment API view as a view. So this endpoint will get the comments based on this post primary key. So let's add it also here. First, let's get the comments are equal to comment. Let's import it from the models, objects, filter, where the post ID is equal to this primary key that we passed. Let's create the serializer is equal to comment serializer, comments many to true, and we will return a response with serializer.data. So we added this other endpoint, but how will this post microservice get this information? So to get that information, we need to send an internal HTTP request from this microservice to this other microservice to get this data. So in order to send an HTTP request, we need to install this request package. So just copy this and run it in your terminal pip install requests, and you will install that package. I already did in my machine, so I will just import requests here. Then what will we do? So I will create here another function. I will call it format post. So format post. This will have a post as a parameter. And what will this function do? So for the moment I will return the ID of the post ID here, the title, post title, the description, post description, and the comments, like this. So for the moment I will return an empty array for the comments. And how will we use this function? So instead of the serializer now, we will format the data with this function of ours. So we'll return here an array underscore in front for p in post. So we will loop the posts and we will call this function. So self format post, and we'll pass p here. So this will do basically the same. So for the moment we return an empty array, but if we inspect and see the actual endpoint, it will return an object with an ID, title, description, and comments as an empty array here. So we added an empty array for the comments, but let's get the actual comments. To get the actual comments, we need to send the request using this package. So the comments are equal to requests. We'll need to send a GET request, What is the endpoint? The endpoint is this endpoint here, which is post with an ID comments. So the endpoint is HTTP localhost, but we need to put 127.0.0.1, and the port is 8001. So this is the exact endpoint for this app. So it is the same. /API/posts/ we need to put a decimal here, /comments. So this decimal we can add it there by adding a percentage post ID here, like this. So this will be the endpoint, and we need to return it as a JSON. So not sure if you understood, so we'll send a GET request to this URL. The only value that changes is this decimal, which is the post ID, and we want to get it as a JSON. In the end, as an empty array here, we will return directly the comments. So I will save now, and I will go to the React app, refresh, and we can see we get the comment here. So if we create another post, save, and we created a second post, and if we create another comment here, it will be attached here. So if we refresh, we can see that post 1 has comment 1 and post 2 has comment 2. So they are attached to the post that they should, and they are stored in different microservices. So this is one way to get information from one microservice to another. Still, this is not a best practice. So what happens if we have 100 posts or even more? So we have to loop every post and to send another HTTP request every time. So this is not a good way, and we will add a better way in the next tutorial when we expand this microservice even further. So for the moment I will keep it like this, and in the next series we will fix this problem. So thank you for watching this tutorial, and also please like, share and subscribe. Thank you.